Okay, so you want to build a clean, professional-looking resume using Microsoft Word that can be scanned by an ATS system and is also easy for people to read. In this video, we'll show you how to create this professional resume in roughly 5 minutes. Okay, getting back on point, you'll notice that this resume has essentially 3 sections to it, and the best part is they are very easy to build. All right, let's get into it. Starting from a fresh document, the first thing you'll want to do is change the margins of your resume so you can buy yourself as much real estate on the paper as possible. To change the margins, click on Layout, Margins, and then you can go with the option of Narrow, which gives you a ½ inch margin all the way around, or you can go under the Custom option and type in the margins that you want. Okay, now that we set the margins, the next step is to add your content, starting with your contact information. Please recognize, for this example, I'll be using Word's default font, but we'll put a list of suggested resume fonts in the description because there is a debate as to which one is the best to use. Okay, getting back on point. How about we start by clicking on this paragraph centering icon, then we'll type out our name, then press the Enter key, then we'll type in our contact information, which as you know includes such things as your location, phone, email, LinkedIn profile, etc. So as we type them out, one thing to consider is your location. Make sure to include your zip code because hiring managers do search for candidates by zip. Okay, once that's complete, how about we take a moment to format our name by making it bold and changing the font size. Depending on the font you use, anything between 18 and 20 point is good. All right, the first part is complete. Next up, let's add our sections like work experience, education, and skills. Let's start this by pressing the Enter key. And then you have a choice. You can either leave the text centered or change the alignment to be over here on the left, which is my preferred choice. The reason I like the text on the left is because it makes it easier for the person who's reading the resume because they don't have their eyes jumping back and forth between the center and the left. No matter which alignment we choose, how about we make our text bold, then change the font size a bit, and then apply a bottom paragraph border, which will give us a line across the page. From here, we can copy that text, double-click below the first section, and paste things by doing a Control-V. Now, when this little tag pops up, you want to hover over it, and on the far left-hand side, choose Keep Source Formatting. Okay, so that looks good. And let's go ahead and paste that one more time. From this point, we can simply edit the text to rename each section to be what we want. So we can change this to be Education, and we can edit this section to read Relevant Skills. All right, so we've created all the sections for our resume. Now all we have to do is add our content, which really amounts to just a whole bunch of typing and creating some bulleted lists. There's only one little part that gets a bit funky, which is working with tabs, and we'll show you how to handle tabs here in a moment. Okay, quick side note. The reason you want to list your experience first is because these skills directly transfer into your job performance and also help hiring managers visualize your capacity to do the job. Let's start off by typing the company name, and the next part is to add your employment dates over here on the right. The best way to do this is to use a specific type of tab called a right tab, because the tab acts like a bracket and forces your text to flow to the left. I know, it sounds odd and counterintuitive, yet when you see it in action, you'll understand. The first step to use our tabs is to make sure the ruler is turned on, and we can do that by going up here and clicking on View, then check where it says Ruler. The next step is to go up here into the upper left corner, look for this L-shaped icon, and start clicking on it until you see a backwards L. If you go past it, that's okay. Just keep clicking on the icon because it will eventually work its way around. Once you have this backwards L, this is the right tab. To set the tab, you want to glide up onto the ruler and then hover over where you want the tab to live. In this case, how about we go with a 7-inch mark, and we can click there to set the tab. Now, when you press your tab key, you'll see the cursor jump over to where the tab lives. Then we just have to type in our date range. Notice the text will flow to the left as we type. Now, by chance we want to adjust the tab, we can go up here, hover on the tab icon, then click and drag to relocate it. So here's where you can do a little trick. If you press Shift-Enter, it will force a line break and put the cursor directly below the company name. This makes your life easier since you'll avoid having to deal with paragraph spacing, which is always nice. And how about we go ahead and type out our job title? All right, from this point, we just need to add the work details, which is just a bunch of typing as we mentioned. So I'm going to fast forward this video while I add some content. Okay, so the content has been added, and all we have to do is convert this typed text into a bulleted list. We can do that by first selecting the list, then go up here, click on the bulleted icon, and that's it. From here, it's just a rinse and repeat with any additional work experience. Just make sure to set the right tab. All right, so the work experience is done. Now let's take care of the education section, which is very similar to the experience section. How about we click down here, type in the name of the school we went to, go up, set our right tab, then press tab, followed by our dates. Next, press Shift-Enter, which will jump us down to the next line. Type out our major, followed by our GPA, and perhaps any academic achievements that you might want to showcase. And that'll do it for the education. The last section of our resume will be to add our skills section, of which I'd recommend doing something a little different. You see, most people create bulleted lists, which is fine. Yet a better idea would be to list out your key skills that are relevant to the job. Then type a brief statement describing how you've applied these skills. So we can go with something like this. Type out our first skill, then talk about how we used it, do a few rinse and repeats. All right, looks like things are starting to look pretty good, and for the most part, we are done. Now, before you go, it's very common that when you submit a resume, it's going to get rejected. So here's a video that will walk you through some of the biggest mistakes candidates make and how to avoid them.